TikTok. TikTok, if you
Yes.
will, it is the 24/7 news channel of so many of our young people, and it's like Al Jazeera on steroids.
Head of the ADL referring to TikTok as a problem that needed to be taken care of.
We have a major generational problem. The issue in the United States in support for Israel is not left and right. It is young and old.
Typically, the Israelis are good at PR. What's happened here? Some wonder why there was such overwhelming support for us to shut down potentially TikTok or other entities of that nature. If you look at the postings on TikTok and the number of mentions of Palestinians relative to other social media sites, it's overwhelmingly so among TikTok broadcasts. So I'd note that's of real interest.
And that's where we are today. China or Israel? I'll let you be the judge.
وما أنفقتم من شيء فهو يخلفه وهو خير الرازقين.
We want to establish an amazing masjid for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the country of Norway. Click on the link and donate now for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters and dear friends. Hope you guys are well, inshallah. So I'm going to be reacting to a video which is so profound. TikTok was today absolutely banned in America. Freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. Of course they believe in freedom of speech. Mocking the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the Qur'an. Of course the Western world, the liberal world, believe in freedom of speech. They're just exposing themselves as we go along. The video we're going to show is going to unravel. This journalist is going to show us step by step. Is the fear really China? That China has some kind of, data, or there's a security threat to America? Or is this something more sinister, something more deeper than that? The Palestinian-Israel war. Is the Zionist Israel's behind this? Once again, let's watch this, because it seems like America is outright owned by Israel. It should be United States of Israel, not America anymore. They are even controlling what you watch because they realized, because the Palestinian cause is spreading wild. Alhamdulillah, because people are just in America. So let's watch this video for ourselves and let's take some analysis, inshallah, step by step. This is profound. Is it China? No, it's not.
TikTok. TikTok, if you
Yes.
will, it is the 24/7 news channel of so many of our young people, and it's like Al Jazeera on steroids.
In November of 2023, a recording was leaked of Jonathan Greenblatt, the head of the ADL, referring to TikTok as a problem that needed to be taken care of.
We have a major generational problem. The issue in the United States in support for Israel is not left and right. It is young and old. And so we really have a TikTok problem, a Gen Z problem, that our community needs to put the same brains that gave us Tagli, the same brains that gave us all these other amazing innovations, need to put our energy toward this, like fast.
So amazing, alhamdulillah. So as you can see, this guy, ADL, the head of ADL, this is an outright pro-Zionist, owned by Zionist group, yes? And you can clearly see that they are threatened by that. Now the question is, why would a foreign country, how can a foreign country intervene? That because TikTok algorithms, and it's becoming a news platform, objective news, and objective news is obviously you're pro-Hamas if you're objective in your news. They've realized that TikTok is a massive threat to the future of Israel. And that's the reason why they are trying every shape or form to ban them. So this is one side of it, but here's what the journalists have to say.
Now, one interesting side note here is that I came across an ADL report expressing frustration that they couldn't access TikTok's analytics the way they can with every other big tech company. Like, should they be able to do that? Anyway, now we're about a month into this war, and all these studies started coming out, making claims about the proliferation of anti-Semitism on TikTok. The most notable one from a statistician and tech executive named Anthony Goldblum, who tweeted out on November 30th that a study he commissioned concluded 30 minutes a day on TikTok makes someone 17% more anti-Semitic. Politicians like Nikki Haley would then go on to regurgitate this claim on national television.
do need to ban TikTok once and for all. And let me tell you why. For every 30 minutes that someone watches TikTok, every day, they become 17% more anti-Semitic.
Except that survey didn't say that at all, because A, it conflated anti-Israel and anti-Semitic sentiments, which I believe to be different. And B, Goldblum himself admitted that he made some logical leaps when he was drawing his conclusion. But now things are really moving at a rapid pace. The next day, on December 1st, 2023, the New York Post reported that a group of 40 mostly Jewish tech leaders and business executives confronted TikTok CEO Shou Chu over their concerns about anti-Semitism and the allegedly disproportionate popularity of pro-Palestine videos on the app. One of those executives, Anthony Goldblum, the same Anthony Goldblum who we were just talking about.
Oh, Anthony Goldblum. He was one of those people that went and spoke to the CEO of TikTok and said, listen, anti-Semitism, not really, my friend. Being anti-Israel does not make one anti-Semitic. Yes, if somebody is against a country that is run by Muslims and those Muslims are doing atrocities against this Christian minority population, be they Jewish, be they whoever they are, that doesn't make them Islamophobic. You're not going to come and say, you're an Islamophobe. No, you're not. You are speaking about a country who is doing oppression against innocent Christian, Jews, whoever it is for that matter, and we're calling it out. We're not going to come and say that's Islamophobia. No, it's not. Okay, that's being just, but no. So this individual, he was the one who carried out that study, yeah, okay, which was used in the Senate, yes, by that lady, and they were just propagating this as if anti-Semitism equates to anti-Israel sentiments equates to anti-Semitism. This is absolute nonsense. They have destroyed the value of anti-Semitism so much that, should I be honest with you, nobody cares anymore being called anti-Semitic because it doesn't hold value. You are against objective news. Let's carry on.
And from everything I understand, the meeting didn't go well in the sense that TikTok didn't commit to a kind of wholesale removal of pro-Palestinian or anti-Israel content. So from then on, the fight against TikTok pivoted from a kind of PR battle that we were just looking at to now laying the groundwork to push legislation through that would ultimately ban the app. In March of 2024, a bill was introduced in Congress, HR 7521, called the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act, sponsored by Representative Mike Gallagher.
Foreign adversary control of what is becoming the dominant...
Foreign adversary control. You can, oh, the irony. Oh, the irony. So they are scared that China is having some foreign agent countries having control. Who does that remind me of? APAC. Oh yeah. And we're going to come to statistics of how many of the Senate members they actually own with finances. Let's come to that. The irony is crazy, guys. Let's carry on.
News platform for Americans under 30. This is a common sense measure to protect our national security. I urge my colleagues to support this critical bipartisan legislation.
The argument is one we've heard before. TikTok, owned by the Chinese company ByteDance, could pose a threat to US national security by harvesting user data, and its algorithm could also be weaponized to, quote, brainwash Americans. Now, these concerns I do think are valid in a sense, but I think it's worth noting that companies like Facebook and Google engage in similar data collection practices, and then they would go on to sell this data to China.
Exactly. So if the threat is that it's China, then they have no problem already, because the thing is, Facebook and Instagram already, which is owned by Meta, they already do that. So is the threat really China, or is there something more sinister? Let's carry on.
So China is getting the data anyway. But here's where things get really interesting. You start digging into Gallagher's largest campaign donors, and you uncover a story that goes far beyond data privacy or Chinese influence. Near the top of his donor list is AIPAC, the Israeli lobby. Here's a crazy statistic for you. Of the 500 plus members of Congress, only 33 members did not receive a donation from the Israeli lobby in the last campaign cycle.
That is unbelievable, guys. Just think that for a second. Out of 500 members, 33, over 90%, if I'm not, yes, it's over 90%, yes, are owned by Israel. Your country, America's owned by Israel, man. What kind of a voting process is this where your senators are bought? How is this even like, you know, freedom of vote? Who gives a damn about your voting when you've got these people who are buying you outright?
So essentially, when Israel wants something from America, they usually get it. Now, another contributor I want to draw your attention to, Palantir Technologies, which is a defense contractor co-founded by billionaire Peter Thiel. Palantir just happens to work very closely with the Israeli military, providing advanced surveillance and targeting software used extensively in their war on Gaza. And one of their consultants, a man named Jacob Hellberg, was responsible for writing the bill. Yeah, it's incredible. A defense contractor who profits off Israel's war were also the ones behind drafting a bill that would, in effect, stifle criticism of said war, which is a clear conflict of interest, no? At around the same time, the Jewish Federations of North America penned a letter to Congress urging lawmakers to ban TikTok due to anti-Semitism. Not one mention in their letter about China or data privacy.
TikTok runs all sorts of videos that portray the Israelis acting towards the Palestinians in barbaric ways. And when young people see these videos on TikTok...
Portrays? What do you mean portrays? It's as if like, they're making it seem as if like, for example, in America, they spend £500 million to make anti-Islamic videos, or whatever it is for that matter, yeah? They're outright pushing this agenda, like fake movies. What's happening in Palestine is a full-blown genocide that is being recorded in 4K. It's the most documented genocide in history, living history, brothers and sisters. So they're making it seem as if TikTok is to blame for this. The only thing TikTok is blamed for is to give a platform to those who are recording real-life events. Simple as that. It's basically saying, no, we have a problem with your TikTok platform. Not that you're orchestrating this, but you're just documenting this. You can't make this stuff up.
They obviously become remarkably sympathetic to the Palestinians, and they think badly, to put it mildly, of the Israelis. So the lobby would like to shut down TikTok.
On March 23, 2024, HR 7521 passed with largely bipartisan support. Looking back, I was fully expecting the bill to pass the House very, very quickly and easily, because there are a lot of bills that pass the House and don't make it through the Senate. The Senate is meant to slow things down. But 1 month later, on April 24th, the act passed in the Senate, again, with overwhelming bipartisan support, and was signed into law by Joe Biden on the following day. Like I said, I had never seen a bill go through Congress with that kind of speed and velocity, with very little opposition or debate. It's wild. And maybe even wilder, by that summer, Mike Gallagher, the representative who had sponsored the bill, was now working for Palantir as their head of defense. He didn't even finish out his term. He just resigned from Congress and took a job there. I know, all of this sounds like a crazy conspiracy theory. In fact, the ADL did call this a conspiracy theory. The Atlantic also called this a conspiracy theory. They even name-checked me in their article. Quote, "The entire world knows exactly why the US is trying to ban TikTok."
You know what? Maybe they're right. Maybe it's a conspiracy theory, my friend. Whoever you are, with my journalist friend. You made this all up. But hold on a second. There is a confession from the horse's own mouth. Let's watch it for ourselves.
James Lee declared on March 16th. Not bad for your boy here, huh? And honestly, this would remain a conspiracy theory. I don't know if I would have made this video if they hadn't come out and confirmed their true motivations.
Typically, the Israelis are good at PR. What's happened here? Some wonder why there was such overwhelming support for us to shut down potentially TikTok or other entities of that nature. If you look at the postings on TikTok and the number of mentions of Palestinians relative to other social media sites, it's overwhelmingly so among TikTok broadcasts. So I'd note that's of real interest.
And that's where we are today. China or Israel? I'll let you be the judge.
And that's it, guys. You can't make this stuff up, alhamdulillah. China has nothing to do with this. It's got nothing to do with China and the threat of China, etc. They're talking about the foreign power. The irony, man, it's Israel. Israel is the reason why they got rid of TikTok. This is going to go down in history. What happened to freedom of speech? What happened to freedom of press? What happened? What happened? The champions of freedom of speech, you hypocrites. You don't live by it. Like, you know, it's been said before. Yes, the West, the America, they are strategically consistent, not morally. They do not care. They are more afraid that this has been documented and the public opinion has been changed, like that guy in the head of AIPAC said. Yes? Which was what? Or ADL, that's what it was, yes? Okay. Which is that it's between the old and the new, meaning the older generation that supported Israel are on their way out. They're dying. Bye-bye, salam alaikum, janaza. Bye-bye, don't come back, yes? Inshallah, hellfire forever for you. But the new generation are waking up to the reality and saying, hold on a second, we have been sold a big fat lie, and the whole world is waking up to that reality. It is not working. Whatever the far right do, however they try to maneuver and propagate and make propaganda, it is not working. The whole world is woken up. I have non-Muslims approaching me day by day and thanking myself, Muhammad Hijab, all praise belong to Allah, but thanking the movement and saying, you know what? Our eyes have woken up. How cruel and evil these people are. They've massacred men, women and children. And isn't it bizarre? Isn't it amazing that Allah in the Qur'an in Surah Ma'idah, I think verse 32, and says, and we told the children of Israel, do not kill an innocent soul. Isn't it interesting that when it comes to this stuff, that they are the most ruthless of not having any remorse of killing innocent men, women and children. I'm going to leave this matter to you guys, inshallah. TikTok is banned by the United States of America. I'll leave it at that, inshallah, guys. May Allah bless and guide you, inshallah. Please share this far and wide. Let the whole world know these people don't believe in freedom of speech. They are absolute hypocrites. And Israel, I hope the day comes, your end will come, inshallah. I'm talking about the country, alhamdulillah. And that it goes back to where Palestinians, Muslims and Christians and other faiths lived in peace for thousands of years. And when Salahuddin al-Ayyubi took over those lands, and when Umar ibn Khattab took over those lands, there were Christians who were hostile towards the Jews, but they rather brought the Jews back into those communities. This is Islam. Islam is against any kind of anti-Semitism of any sort because the Prophet's wife was ethnically Jewish. We have nothing against the Jews, yes, unless those corrupt Zionists. Of course we do. Anyone that's evil, be Muslim, Christian, whoever it is, even a Muslim who harms an innocent person, he has to bear the consequences. We are not strategically consistent. We are morally consistent. Till next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.